Breaking Barriers with Bria, episode 2, where we're going to talk about love, dating, and relationships. I have 3 amazing guests here, and they're going to introduce themselves. Go ahead.
I'm Stephanie.
How you doing? I'm comedian EJohnson.
Hey, I'm Chaz.
Awesome. So our guests here they come from 3 different backgrounds, and we're going to get into it, get into some of their own personal experiences with dating, love, and relationships. So are y'all ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Ready?
All right. So this is, of course, our second installment for the Love Month, February. And our last episode, we talked about self-love, self-care, very much inner love, inner peace,
Yes.
And so now we're going to talk about outer love, we've done the work within ourselves.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about loving other people, and trying to navigate that, which I feel like you all have 3 different paths of navigations, and so I'm super excited to get into that. Okay, so first question. I'm going to take it to you, Eric.
Okay.
So people think that they know the real definition of dating. What do you think your definition of dating is? What would you say?
I like to say my definition of dating is, and like I said, I'm old school. I'm from the 80s, so I believe in picking a young lady up, you know what I'm saying? Myself, I come with roses, a teddy bear. I'm going to spray my little cologne on that so you can remember me. Good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Just know it. You spent some money.
All right.
But, taking out a nice restaurant, or even if it's not so much going to a restaurant, go to a park or something like that and kick it and get to kind of know the person. See, does our personalities match up?
I like that. Very traditional. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, Chaz, what do you think about that? Do you think that's your definition of dating?
It is mine.
Okay.
First off, I don't like the fact that he called his years out, his decade out. I'm not his baby, so shout out to us. But I think because it's time frames are so important. I don't think that's dating for, honestly, Black people in general. It might be problematic. I don't know, but
I'm not worried about problematic.
I just feel like people fall into situationships often. So that's what we define as dating, truly. And so, situationships has its own definition, but
yes,
I feel like it's, you kind of talk to somebody, you kind of don't. It's not the same. Or that's what it is.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought up situationships. So we got that, dating. Stephanie, so do you think everybody's definition of dating is the same? Do you think it's universal, just based off of what Chaz and Eric just said?
I don't. I do not. I think dating, you have to know what you want.
Ooh.
And not just that, you have to know yourself. So knowing yourself going into getting to know a person and not putting that much pressure on yourself, because people take things too serious. It's almost as if I'm dating and I meet a person and if it doesn't work out, I just give up. It's billions of people in the planet.
That's true.
So the dating process is the vetting process.
Okay.
So I think people, they don't have enough fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a thing where you have to get to know a person and be okay if it doesn't work out.
So do you do that during the dating stage or the situationship stage?
No, we should never get to a situationship because that's complicated.
I know you gonna hurt some people's feelings.
And having a situationship, that just means that you have no boundaries and you don't have any values, because you don't let things become a situationship if you know what you want. And if you have boundaries where if it crosses something that you're uncomfortable with, you go ahead and exit out and you keep moving. You don't get mad at the person. Girl, guess what he did to me? There's none of that. Because like you said, as Baddie, you keep it moving.
You keep it moving.
And you're okay. You bless the person with love and light and you keep going.
I love that.
And that's it.
I love that. Eric?
I don't know. I was just saying, a situationship, it might be a situation that I like. At
That's
a particular
true.
moment, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that I like all of it. It's I just want 30% of that right now. But other than that, I don't. And it's in my mind, it's why are you messing with them? Can I say
Yes. Yes. Well, there's
And that's
that.
when the feelings come in.
Ooh.
Complicated.
we gonna get to the feelings part. We gonna get to the feelings part.
You say that now. If you do it on your terms and
That's
when you
true.
want it and you're dating other people, now you
That's
won't get
true.
caught up in that. You can easily be like, hey, okay, now she getting a little crazy. Her expiration date done came.
Wow.
Go.
Not the expiration.
Yeah, it happens.
I
Yeah.
wasn't ready. I'm not gonna lie.
Not you expired in 2022. It's 2023. You were no longer needed.
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so it's speaking of, it's 2023, right?
Right.
Dating has progressed over time, right?
Yes.
We're now in the age of online dating, dating apps and so on and so forth. I want to know, Chaz, do you remember like where you were or what you were doing when you heard of the first like online dating thing? And what did you think of it?
I feel like the first one I remember that I guess I could be a part of was Tinder. But I do remember growing up hearing like Match.com and stuff, like paying sites. But like obviously I wasn't dating or finna pay to date somebody. Like, so the one that I remember and I was a part of that generation would be Tinder for sure. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Steph?
From what I can remember, the Match.com. I know they had speed dating.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
And a lot of people that I used to talk to, like my friends, they would just go out and meet people.
Okay. So they didn't do the online
So they
dating.
didn't do it. No.
Did you do online dating when you first came?
Absolutely not. I was afraid. I was scared because I felt like it was so many imposters, behind the screen. But also,
But that's the same thing. Like,
you're right.
When you were dating before the internet, like, you was really meeting strangers.
I think it was a fear
That's
of, you're
true.
right. It was
And
a
we
fear
didn't have the
of
same fear, I think.
Yeah.
Like, as a, globe.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have the same fears. But
Yeah.
it was a fear of the unknown.
Okay.
And that goes for even if it's online or in person. Because people get to a phase where they're like, okay, I'm just done. I'm just doing me. And really, I think people really want that companionship. But,
I think I get what you're saying. People show their representative at first.
Yeah.
And then they get to the stage where like, okay, I'm doing me. When in reality, you should have been doing you from the jump.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Eric, so what was your perspective when online dating first came about?
I wasn't with it. I remember it was matchdate.com.
Yeah,
I wasn't finna pay for that. No, I gotta pay for y'all and pay for the date. Man, you kidding me? Come on, somebody be on layaway. Wait a minute. We gonna go out in 2 weeks. Let me get you out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I know that's right.
I'm an in-person guy.
Yeah.
Even though they bring in their representative, there are certain little ticks that you can kind of almost point out when you're there. Is when you're having a conversation with them. It's like, she don't want me in the eye. Her eye ain't lazy. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that you can kind of see opposed to reading lies.
That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know.
I never thought about it like that.
That's real. And just, for the people at home or wherever you are, Eric is a comedian, okay? Very much a comic. So I'm not sure if, just so you know, okay? We have amazing, talented individuals here on our amazing Breaking Barriers couch, and he is a comedian. So there's that. Okay, awesome. Okay. So your perspective was it was kind of scary. You were like, nah, I'm not with it. You were like, ooh, maybe, I don't know, we'll see like later on, and we'll see later on.
No,
Then Tinder
I was
came
definitely
about.
into it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's because I feel like I keep bringing up the 90s life. But, like, I feel like I was on the cusp of like the generation who had the old school way of like just life and then the internet thing.
I agree.
So because of it, like I remember sending my first text message. So that aspect of like dating online, like I remember making my first Instagram page and
That's
MySpace
true.
and all that stuff. So it's like
That
it
is so
didn't
true.
scare me the same probably until I got older.
Right.
And I like my profile of like who I could meet were like true strangers in a big city. Like that's when it got a little bit more like, ooh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was easier than having to go meet somebody and
randomly.
Yeah, like meet somebody out at a bar or at church or the grocery store. Like that was different.
Right.
So.
And how many people have dating coaches? I think
0.
I think people. See, I think people
0.
like it could help. So I had a dating coach before I got married.
Okay.
And I think and shout out to April Mason. But it helped me to learn how to date and how to like exchange conversation and how to look at what I wanted as far as valuing what it is that I needed from a partner.
Yeah.
And not just from a partner, but from myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I think we have all these different degrees and things that we do, and we know how to do this and this and this, and we're professionals in that part. But I don't think we take time to be professionals in dating.
Ooh.
We know self-love, we know education, we know, I have my degree, and I think all those things are necessary. But I'm like, do we learn how to date and how to court?
Right. What about getting a degree in knowing yourself and knowing what you like to do on a date? Do you like to be taken out? Do you like to take people out?
And there's blockages there.
I do feel like people are doing that now, though.
Me too. I think
that's like learning self-love
for sure,
and what that really means. So I think that's happening. But there's a lot of transition just in the way of the world. Lots of
transition. So speaking of transition, right? Y'all talked about like the very beginning. This is, a random question. We have a few trivia questions throughout today's episode.
No.
Okay. To drink or not to drink? No, I'm just
right.
Kidding. Okay. So the first question is, and I'll ask all three of you. What do you think was the very first online dating site? I'll give you 10 seconds.
Wow.
And if you get it wrong, be prepared to take a shot.
Can we have 2 answers, or is it just one? Because it could be
There's only one answer. There's only one. One.
eHarmony.
eHarmony?
1-800, pick up the phone. Bro, no about that.
You're right.
Oh my God. First of all,
I gotta go with Match.com. That's the one I remember.
Okay.
I'm in between.
Say that. Which one is it?
Was MySpace a dating
I don't know. Okay, so the actual answer, one person got it right. The real answer is Match.com.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay.
You didn't make a noise when we first said Match. So
I was trying to keep it underneath. I was like, "Oh, Bria, don't give it away because that's the real answer." Great. Okay, so can we have 2 shots, please, for Steph as well as Chaz?
Yay.
And we can put them here. Someone awesome. Yeah, great. We already got them ready. Period.
Cheers to love.
Cheers. And so I am not going to take a shot because I might have to answer another question later on. I will take a nice sip though. And cheers. Here we go. Cheers. What are we cheersing to? We cheers here on this show.
Love.
Cheers to love.
Self-love, relationship, all that.
Yay. Congrats. And because you got that right, I'm actually going to I'm going to have our amazing, one of our amazing producers, executive producer here, give you a shot to take home. So you don't have to take it right now.
Oh, okay.
You take that on your date. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Great.
She might appreciate it.
Okay. So speaking of, next question. How many dating apps do you think there are?
Oh.
And
is this a trivia question?
Yes.
That's a trick question.
I mean, hey, we back to back around here. How many dating apps do you think there are, right? Mm-hmm. But what I want you to answer is how many can you name at the top of your head right now?
Oh my God.
Yes. So we're gonna go in order.
Okay.
Eric, since you just won the last one, you can go first.
Okay. Match.com, eHarmony, Backpage.
What's an app? I don't know.
I mean, not app, but like
Tinder.
Tinder, that's a good one.
SingleChristians.com.
Actually, that is one.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
That's all I know.
3,
That's about it. That's
2,
all I got.
1, 5. All right. Steph, you're next. Here we go. No. Sorry. You said MySpace last time. I'm sorry, sis. Chaz, you're next. Here we go.
I'm married. I don't know.
Yes. Here we go.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Definitely Tinder.
Okay.
Can I name the ones he named?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, eHarmony, Match. What else she say? Tinder. I don't even remember what else. But Black People Meet, Grindr, Zeus used to be one. Hinge, her. That's all I got.
All right. Hey, all right. Sorry, Eric. She's beating you out right now. Get prepared.
All right.
Steph, you're last.
The only one that I
Oh, I
know
forgot about one. Dang.
is
That was easy.
Match.com. I know Christian Mingles because they had 1,000 commercials with that one
They did.
on Facebook.
Forgot about that too.
And blackpeoplemeet.com, that was another one.
Mm-hmm.
And MySpace.
She get that MySpace in there.
That's
Okay.
all. I don't know.
Listen, first of all, you're going to say everything she said. Okay. Shaking my head. Great job,
Bumble.
Chaz. You got it. Oh, that is one.
That's the one I was.
What's the
like,
one?
Bumble.
Oh,
Bumble.
Bumble.
Yeah. Well, it's
See,
for
we-
everybody,
Bumble.
but it's like
Absolutely.
we talk to the
Yeah.
guy first. So
See, we don't know that. I mean,
I'm
we're,
out the loop on that.
we've been caught up in, you know,
Hey.
our situation,
What?
our thing. Like,
So it's Grindr
So-
still going?
see, he's trying to catch up. Go ahead.
Grindr, yes.
Yeah.
There's Grindr, there's her, there's Hinge,
Black People Meet still
Black People
one.
Meet.
There was one
there's
that was
Tammy.
just like black.
Yeah, Black, BLK.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know.
There is Facebook dating. You
Yeah.
could have said Facebook dating. Yeah.
Oh, they got Facebook dating?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. I know they
Can
had.
we have 2 shots, please, for the people who didn't know they had Facebook dating?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Do I look too comfortable? It don't matter.
I
Whatever.
definitely
We
didn't
didn't
know
listen.
Facebook dating. That's a new one.
I didn't know they had
Yeah,
Facebook
but-
dating.
Oh,
either.
yeah, for sure.
But I'm not surprised because you can do everything on Facebook.
They sell all kind of stuff
Stephanie.
on there.
Take all these pictures.
Oh.
Not for
She
this
does not
one.
have to take one. Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Do you have any
okay.
more questions?
Yeah.
I might have to lose.
Thank you. You got yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome. Cheers. What are we cheering to?
are you
All right.
taping this right now?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Absolutely.
sorry.
Cheers.
Hey.
To the dating apps.
To the dating
Cheers
apps.
To the dating
for
Cheers to the
Eric.
dating
Oh, yeah.
apps.
For all y'all.
I can't.
Not for me, child. I'm happily married. Good love.
Yay, Brandon, into that too. Awesome. Okay, so as we go along, yay. Okay, so as we go along, I'm not gonna. I'm just curious. Do you all know how many dating apps there are now?
I don't.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Right now, there's over 1,500 dating apps.
What?
Whoa.
Worldwide.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
there are dating apps for all
15.
different types of things,
Wow.
honey.
That's a lot.
You know, people might think some of them are a little controversial, but let's not forget you got sugar babies,
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Poly relationship.
That's a whole
poly
lifetime
relationships,
movie.
exactly. There's some for specifically for people of different identities. So if you have the same race or ethnicity, we're talking about black, right?
Right.
BLK or Black People Meet or Black Planet.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Oh,
remember
Black
that
Planet.
too. Black
That's what I
Planet.
wanted to say instead of
Yeah,
my
Black
Was that a
Planet.
dating app though, or was it more of like a social media?
I think
That
it
was
was
very,
both.
very
I
much
feel like-
online dating.
I feel like it
Really?
was a social
Yeah.
media, but like people were definitely dating.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Black
for sure.
Planet was like
My
Black
friend
Space.
definitely
That's
had
right.
Or MySpace, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it was the black MySpace.
Right.
Yeah.
Before
Maybe that's
MySpace.
what I wanted. Yeah.
Yep, I may or may not
Say
have
the
had
name again
one.
of that one.
Black.
Black
Planet.
Planet.
Black Planet.
I absolutely had a Black Planet. I don't even know what I was doing on there, but I had one though. Sure did. Okay. And so the last question for this segment is going to be this one. So are y'all familiar with Insecure, the show Insecure?
I am.
Somewhat.
I like that one.
Okay,
I
perfect.
didn't watch it a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I believe it might have been season 3, maybe season 3. During one of the seasons, right? There was a dating app that premiered on the season, and one of the characters was really invested in this specific dating app. And it came to be that this was actually a dating app. Like, it's an actual dating app. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And yeah. So before I go a little bit into it, I need to know what dating app was that? And if you get it correct, we have a prize for you over there. So Eric, would you happen to know?
I happen to not know.
All right. Stephanie.
I don't even remember that part of the episode, but
Where a character was on a
it was
dating
that
app.
guy. I don't know his name.
All right.
I don't know.
Last but not least, Chaz.
Can I say the character? I know that.
I need the dating
What's the
app.
character?
Well, it was Molly for sure.
It was Molly.
And I remember she paid for something, but
She
I don't
sure
know.
did.
I just happened. I didn't watch the show like that.
You got
so.
far though. See, I don't even know that.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
But I mean, I know she paid for a dating app. She
We've
was
been out
super
the
excited
loop.
about it. And
Yeah.
it wasn't. Was it? I don't know. I wish
I knew she was struggling.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
anything we said.
that part.
But I know
Yeah.
Dating app.
So
True.
it's not anything we said.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything.
But on this particular dating app,
but
you
when you
were
say it, I'm gonna know it.
you were encouraged to link with like-minded people. And when two people got together, they were considered to be a power couple. And there was a waiting list.
What?
You had to wait in order to get in.
Yeah, I remember all of that. I just don't remember the name of
See,
it.
we're
I'm
out of
sorry.
the
Y'all
loop.
know.
I'm
Y'all
sorry,
people at home, y'all
I'm
know.
sorry, Issa. I love
We're
you.
out of the loop.
Work with me. I want to be on one of your shows.
Oh, wow. So nobody
I'm
gets the
sorry.
prize. That's okay. That's all
Come on,
right.
give us another one.
Yeah, let's get another one because we're out of the loop.
Absolutely not.
Let's get an acknowledgement.
The answer is,
I'm like,
I said I
what?
at least knew the character.
you did. That's so great. That's so nice. Good job.
It's 6
Good
seasons
job.
of it.
Good job.
It's 6 full seasons. That's a lot. That one little piece.
I only saw 3 seasons too, by the way.
Look at that.
But you know,
I didn't even watch it.
It's a
And I
long
knew
crowd,
all that.
y'all. The League. It's called The League. It was called The League.
the league.
That doesn't even count as
Okay.
Yes, and so it's an actual dating app. I know because I did get on there one time.
How did you like it?
LOL, I didn't even make it in.
Oh, so you have to audition to kind of be in it?
So you download the app, right? It's super official. So you have to you can verify yourself on LinkedIn. You can
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
verify who you are, whatever, resume or whatever, right? And there's a waiting list, and I googled it because I was like, this cannot be true.
Yeah.
But it actually is. And so I was like, first of all, I was like number 35,000 on the list or whatever, because I had just opened my profile.
They have
and
it?
then I kept it on there. I was like, this is crazy. Let me see how long this is actually gonna take, right? And to get drafted, to get drafted in or whatever from the
Drafted.
league.
Like
Yeah.
you're applying to be on the app?
And so I think it might have been like 2 weeks later, and I think at the time I was like number 33,000 something. So I still only moved up 2,000 people, and I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not that deep.
And you have to pay for it.
Now you don't have to, but if you would like to get in, you can pay for it. And even then, when you get in, it's still like,
Not guaranteed.
yeah. So it was very legitimate, and so it gave me a completely different perspective on dating. Like, wow, we are really out here nowadays.
I'm
Doing this.
Oh my God.
Because you hear a lot
I'm
of
listening
times
to
you hear
this.
people say, oh, I want to meet somebody that's like equally yoked. I want to meet somebody that like got their shit together and that's on my level too. I don't want to meet any
Right.
bums, blah, 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 blah. Or I don't want to meet a gold digger. Like she need to have something going for herself or whatever. And so you get on this app and you got to go through all of these steps. So I guess if you really want it, then I suppose. But I would be afraid that a few of the people on there would be a little pretentious or something like that,
Do
I'm
people
just
go
saying.
to
They
events
verify it.
anymore?
They verify it, so.
They do verify. They verify it.
It's
Yeah.
not like they could be too pretentious because they already have what they need too.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. That's true.
Do they go to events
I don't know
anymore?
what's
Do
that.
they go outside? Like,
Oh,
do they go
look.
to the golf clubs or like events where they can find potential male or female like people? Do they do
I don't know
that?
what they do. They want you to get on the league though and get drafted.
God.
They want you to join their team. Okay, so moving right along. Open relationships.
Oh, this is spicy.
This is spicy.
Let's get into it.
I like this.
I'm excited.
Eric rubbing his chin. I'm telling. Okay.
What that mean?
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
So, question. Let's start with Stephanie.
Yes.
Do you know what is your definition of poly? Someone who identifies as poly. What does that mean?
To me, poly is one person that has two mates, right? So, for instance, can I use Eric as an example?
Sure. I want to know your authentic answer.
Okay,
What do
so
you think
Eric
poly
would be
is?
the husband or the man.
Okay.
And say, for instance, me and her would be
Uh-huh.
in this I don't know the word for it,
Polyamorous.
but it's polyamorous relationship.
Yes.
So basically,
I'm
we
sure
would
Eric
all
is
be
enjoying this.
together, and he would be able to provide for all of us. So all those, okay. He would be able to provide for all of us.
Okay.
Me and her would be able, I'm sorry.
Chaz.
Me and Chaz, my apologies. Me and Chaz would be able to get along with each other. We would be on one accord.
Okay.
We would have something set to where we have a understanding about our time and our schedules, and we would make that work.
This is a real detailed answer, Stephanie. I feel like.
Yeah,
this.
because I thought about it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so like if she has a baby, I would care for the baby.
So it's giving a different type of relationship, not poly at all.
We're building communities. We're having our own businesses. We're employing in our kids.
It takes a village.
It takes a village. So like those polyamorous relationships have to be on one accord.
Okay.
So that's my definition of that. And Eric just took a deep breath because he
He did.
you know.
That was a real interesting example.
That's my example.
Okay, so let's jump into a few examples, right? A few definitions.
Yeah.
So someone who identifies as poly, they would be open to or possibly engaging in intimate relationships with more than one person.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily have to surround sex or sexual activities or anything like that. It's all about the relationship,
Right.
Emotions, and having a relationship with those people.
Yes.
And it also doesn't have to be two. You could be
3,
exactly,
4.
exactly.
Yes.
I'm going to do another definition really quickly for the folks at home.
Okay.
Swingers, or someone who identify as a swinger. I am what I know to be factual is that people who swing are interested in sexual activities.
Yes.
And not necessarily their relationships. I think
Right.
possibly they could be, but I believe the focus is more on sex.
Yes.
Or sexual relations.
Yes.
And so, for example, you might have a couple, and they might be married, right? But if they both identify as swingers, then they might want to swing with someone that they meet, or someone that one of them meets, or they might swing, outside of each other.
So that's a poly relationship.
Not really.
And see, that's what I was gonna say. The way the definition she gave didn't sound poly
Right.
either,
Not really.
right?
So
Right.
like a swingers, if I'm married to my husband
Right.
and we want to have a person that comes into the marriage to entertain us in our marriage to satisfy both parties.
You're moving too
Because-
fast, Stephanie. You're moving too fast. We're
I'm
going to get
just-
to that part. We're going to get to
okay.
that part.
Okay.
You move too fast. You move too fast. But I'm glad you brought up marriage.
There's no commitment in that.
So
I'm sorry.
there is a difference. There's a
Yeah.
difference, right?
Yeah.
Polygamy
That's what I was thinking.
That's commitment.
is essentially a man or someone who identifies as a man that has multiple wives.
Yes.
And I believe polyandry, I might not be, we're going to flash it on the screen just to make sure that, we got this right. But I believe polyandry is a woman who has multiple husbands.
Yes.
In
heard that.
marriage
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between...
Eric, he's thinking about it. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a difference between being... There's a difference between being... Oh my goodness. Okay, now don't get mad now.
I'm
Okay.
trying not to.
I'm just saying.
I'm learning a
Have
lot
your double
here.
standard.
Hey.
Aren't you learning a lot? Aren't you learning? I'm learning a lot. I've heard of all of these except polyandry.
Yeah.
That's the right word, but like...
Yes,
that the
I believe
female
that's
with
the
two
right word. I
husbands?
think.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Or multiple
Oh,
husbands.
okay.
Multiple
I've seen that too.
Yes.
I've never seen that one. That's new for me.
Yeah, so, but we're in this era, right, where open relationships are more common than not now.
Yes.
And so I kind of want to get into that. And there's open marriages, you
That's
know.
another one. Yeah.
And sometimes I think people who identify just as open, like if you have an open relationship, I think that also mainly focuses on the sexual activities as well, versus being poly or identifying as poly or polyamorous,
Right.
like more of the relationships Meaning, let's say if I am in a relationship with someone, I can also be in a relationship with somebody else, you know, and they can be exclusive of each other.
The only difference is you have that conversation with your partner.
Communication.
And you guys are on one accord, and you say what it is that you
Stephanie
want.
is just skipping ahead.
I'm
you know,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm convinced that
but
she got the cards.
Go ahead. My bad.
She be knowing.
I'm convinced.
I
am convinced. I'm convinced. Okay, well, let me ask this, and I'm going to ask each of you an individual question, right? So, based on your current stage of life, right, where you at right now, could you be in an open relationship?
Ooh.
And if so, do you have any deal breakers?
Do we take a shot on this, or is this? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry, and I totally skipped something. E&M, right? Ethical non-monogamy.
Girl,
The what?
what are these terms?
That was a new one for me.
That's a new one.
Equinogamy?
Yeah, I think it's in relation to
Ethical
being
non-monogamy.
polyamorous, but the communication, right, and the trust factor that you were talking about. I believe that's when that's kind of how it goes into for ethical non-monogamy. You know, because you're non-monogamous.
Okay.
But doing so ethically.
But you know that it's happening.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you already know that your girlfriend or boyfriend or whomever partner is also open to dating someone else or might be open to dating someone else. And you communicate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
then being
That's
happy.
good stuff.
So I'm sorry, back to the original question. Could you be in an open relationship where you are in your lives right now? And you all three, you all are in different stages. So we'll start with Chaz and then go to Stephanie, then go to Eric.
Chaz first.
Y'all.
Look at him.
So, I mean, for all that don't know, I'm happily married, you know, and make sure I'm blinking. But no, so I am happily recently married. We just celebrated a year.
Oh,
So,
congrats.
Come on, y'all, clap it up for Chaz.
Congrats.
So because of that, obviously, well, it's not obvious, I guess, because we have this conversation. For me and my house, we will not be opening our relationship.
Doors closed.
Doors are closed,
Locked.
and that's okay. But that's because that's the commitment we made to each other.
Yeah.
And we personally believe we made that with it. The only person or thing that's inside of our relationship is God. As a queer couple. So because of that, like I said, that's the commitment we made at an altar together.
Oh, I love that.
Come
So
on, Chaz.
that's us.
Yeah.
However, because I'm at the stage I'm at now, I've been happily committed to somebody and in a healthy relationship. I
Very
can
healthy.
finally understand like love in a different form. I know that sounds weird probably too, but because of that, I can just conceptualize things that I never could before. And you already know, our relationship, who I was when you first met me, who I am today, vastly different.
That's okay, though, because you're supposed to evolve.
I've grown a lot. I've evolved a lot. But because of that, I can conceptualize things. So if
Absolutely.
unfortunate,
Beautiful.
if there was an unfortunate situation where I found myself single again, I think I could be open to things that I couldn't have been before because I wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't being loved carefully and thoughtfully.
Yeah.
So now I love myself that much. I've been loved that way, so I know it's possible.
Yes.
So I may be able to do something like that, but I wasn't taught that. I didn't grow up like that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
really
very new.
plan to know, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
love
where I'm
it.
at.
I
Is
love
this her
it.
first marriage? Because
It
people get
is.
removed. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
Because
I love it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Stephanie? Yes. Are you open or could you be in an open relationship? Because right now, what I understand is right now
Okay.
you're not dating. But let's say in the future, could
Yeah.
you be open to an
Okay.
open relationship?
So I've been married. I'm currently married / going through a separation.
Like many people in America.
Yeah, we do get along. We just know that we want different things. So I've been married for 7 years. I've been together with this man for almost 13. Moving forward,
Yes. Future.
I am open to learning more about myself. And I don't, excuse me, I can't really answer that because I've seen relationships on a different scale. So I'm learning more about myself because I've always spent time in a relationship. I've never had time with myself. If I have, it's only been 6 months. And that I had to do some shadow work. I had to really get to know myself and really dig deep Because I have fear of being alone, and so moving forward, I want to be able to.
I'm sorry.
I want to be able to experience that for at least 6 months to get to know myself, because I need that. You know, so right now I'm currently not understanding and not knowing.
Yeah.
So I'm exploring.
Yeah.
Because I had the monogamy, I had the one-on-one, I had the marriage where we were together and we were both on one accord. We were both wanting the same things as we thought, right? And so moving forward, I don't know what I want yet. And I think coming into myself, once I begin to really sign the papers, and mind you, it's a very positive thing between us because we have a certain agreement. We're able to communicate. We're not fighting or fussing or, you know, that stuff that most people go through. But
yeah, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. Moving forward, I'm learning more about what it is that I want. Because I have desires. You know, I have wants. I have needs. I want kids. I don't have kids.
Yeah.
So we've traveled in that marriage, and so we lived our best life. Now I want to settle down. And so I don't know. I'm just open to learning about myself, and I think over time that will give me the specifics as to what I need.
And I think that's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely necessary for you to take the time that you need and figure out who Stephanie is and what Stephanie wants.
Because I did that according to what my family wanted and what I thought and what I was taught.
Because they
Everything
say
I was taught, I
date,
did.
you get married, you do have kids, you do X, Y, and Z, la, la, la. This is what you're supposed to do.
Family, you
this is the
told
type
me,
of person you're supposed to be with.
Yeah, you told me that this is the way it was supposed to be. There's bliss now that I'm married. Well, what I didn't understand is I was marrying a person that I didn't even know. And what happens is you get to know the person as time goes on. I don't care how many years it is, you still are getting to learn a person.
Absolutely.
So, answering the question, I don't know yet, but I feel like it'll come.
It will. I love the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Eric, last but not least, could you be in an open relationship right now?
Where I'm at right now, open relationship. I can say yes, I guess, in a sense. The only reason is because for me, my definition of open relationship is almost like dating. I'm not committed to you.
So then is it a relationship?
Sorry. I think it's yes. I think it's yes until he figure out and finding that. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's because it will be hard for me to say that I'm fully committed to you, knowing that you're just you date me and somebody else. So it's like, man, I'm not going to be serious about this situation, man. I know what we're doing. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm kind of almost basically I'm in the same boat as Stephanie. I'm getting out. I'm separated. I'm getting out of my relationship, and I'm actually trying to get to learn myself. I had my kids, my oldest daughter early. I was 22 years old. Dumb. Okay, let's just be real dumb.
But you was grown. Like most people say, a lot younger than that, and there's no shame in it. But you were grown, so it's okay.
For me, maturity-wise, no. Maturity, no, I was dumb.
Yeah.
And I was in a relationship, and I'm thinking that, okay, well, I got a nice woman, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm trying to be grown before really getting a chance to get out to see what I really like. And so now I'm in a point where it's like I'm trying to do my comedy career, make sure that my kids are straight. Me and my ex, we're great, you know, like we are now. So when it come down to open relationship, and this just probably is just a selfish reason or perverted reason, I think it's sex. Yeah. And if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it, but I'm gonna keep going on. I'm like, look, I'm on a mission. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
So, oh wow.
Can I bounce off of what he said?
Yeah.
Since he said the sex thing is different for men and women.
Absolutely. I was thinking that too.
Even though I don't know, I do want one person.
Okay.
I want one person that I can dedicate myself to. Even though I feel like I know how to go from one, like the polyamorous, I get that, building community, building the business, the family, the foundation, the money, all that. But initially, one person is all I need. And so the sex part,
You get that part.
I understand that part too.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I actually respect that. And
Because he's upfront.
for sure,
He wants to be
Most men
free.
aren't.
He's been
Most
trapped.
people, I shouldn't say men, but most people are
exactly.
not upfront.
Most people are not
So I think it makes
upfront
a
with what they
difference.
want, and I think that's because we as humans, we are afraid to tell people what we want because they might not want the same things.
Yeah.
Even though we might want them, you know, sometimes we withhold information.
Yeah.
We are not transparent, you know, with certain information because we don't want them to run away or we don't want them to go anywhere because we want them.
Yeah.
But that's kind of selfish.
That's what I'm about to say. That's
Why does
selfish.
why does he want just sex?
Well, I'm not gonna say if it don't necessarily have to be that. But I'm gonna be honest. We go out on a couple of dates. Like I say, I don't mind spending money doing time and this, but man, I'm 40-something years old. I'm not looking for no more female friends at this particular point in my life.
Right.
We either finna do business or we finna do business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean that in a rude way or this and that. And I like to give the person the opportunity to make that decision. And if they like, well, I'm on the same level, I'm cool with it, great. But that's not what I'm doing. I understand you have a great time. You know what I'm saying? No hard feelings, anything like that.
I think
no
this is the
force.
dating process. I really do believe this is the dating
The dating process from
Not wanting to commit up front, but wanting to get to know a person.
absolutely. I think you should. I
know?
think this is my personal opinion. I think that you should get to know, you know, someone up front. I personally believe that sex comes with strings, whether or not people want to say it or not. You know,
Yes.
I feel like sometimes there can be like an emotional connection there, or a spiritual connection there, or you know, just a chemistry that is, you know, kind of undeniable, and then feelings get involved or whatever. Which is why, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that communication from the jump about it, you know, and about what you want is important.
It's the key.
Yeah.
Exactly. Therefore, when those feelings come up, you know, you already know, okay, well, we've already established that this is just physical. We've already established that
And
this
don't
is just
change
sex.
that,
you know.
because what'll change, they'll end up I'm sorry, not you, but some men will, and this is before the marriage, they'll end up
Child, what
catching
you finna
feelings.
say? Oh, okay.
They'll end up
I
catching
was like, what you
feelings
catching?
and
Okay.
being like, I didn't want a relationship, but now I really am acting as if I'm in a relationship.
Yeah,
So this
exactly.
is what you wanted in the beginning.
But again, that comes with communication.
Yes.
So, and again, I'm really big. I'm a DE&I consultant, and so at the beginning of my trainings, I usually say, you can't freeze people in time.
Yes.
Don't freeze people in time. Meaning, if you say that you think one thing, you know, and 20 minutes later you change your mind, it is okay for you to change your mind.
Yeah.
Same thing in relationships. You might start with saying, you know, I just want something physical, but something emotional might start brewing, you know, but it is your responsibility to tell that person or to communicate with the person that you have these feelings with. And again, consent is real sexy. All right.
Yeah.
So see if they down. They might be down.
But this is
They
why-
might not be.
But this is
Yeah.
why I say situationships end up happening because of that. So I hear everything, and I'm just kind of listening and taking it in. But I'm like, this is how situationships happen, because even if you overstand, over communicate, there's still a point where people will change their minds. Where like you are acting as if you're
Yeah.
in a relationship when you're not. You're treating her and accepting the things that she responds, or he. You treating him like he your man,
Yeah.
or that's your whatever.
And
You know
that's a
what I
lack
mean?
of boundaries.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that is how situationships happen, which
Yeah.
is truly what happens with dating. So like that's why you going out for a dinner and a movie and you telling them you just wanna smash, and they okay with it, and it happens. But
Yeah.
that's a situationship,
But
because
how
it's
much-
gonna keep going.
How much time are you spending with that person too?
Right.
And because
Even if you're not spending a lot of time, I'm telling you, if you're not spending a lot of time, but you're engaging in sexual acts with someone, I mean, let's just keep it real. You having sex with someone and you're not talking to them, I'm telling you, you still get to the point where you're like, if you're constantly sharing your body with them, that's a very intimate part. Like, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's two men, two women, the opposite sex. once you start sharing your body with somebody, if it's 30 minutes every other week, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the most
that's
the
the
most
situationship.
spiritual, intimate thing you can do with somebody.
Yeah.
So to sit there and to say like it's not a situation, it is, and for all parties. Not saying that it's wrong,
Right.
but it
But it's
is
a situation.
Women-
So in open relationships, that means you're being with multiple people, so you're spiritually
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that with multiple
Absolutely.
people, and
Yeah.
falling feelings for all these
Absolutely.
different folks.
And typically, you don't see women who say that they do that. They
Okay.
gonna say they don't. But
Right.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
So let's
Those
pause
are
for a second
imbalanced.
because I want to make sure we got the definitions right. Right. Because you said, Eric, in open relationships, but we can't say open relationships because it is, for the most part, right, by definition, focus on the sexual activities. But in in poly relationships, I think that's what you meant to say. In poly relationships, are you sharing the spiritual, the emotional, like the chemistry and everything between all people, all parties?
Well, yeah, it's something like that, I guess, because she was like, when you haven't been intimate with people,
Yeah.
you're going to get feelings, and I do.
Yeah.
I'm with you on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That happens, but I have also, from my experience, where I have been intimate with certain ladies, but it might be twice out of a month. We don't talk like that. Like, we'll call here and there, hey, we're going on this and that, come on through. Whoop, whoop, it's cool. I don't have that feelings for her. But there's also, when I'm dating a woman, I've never had sex with her, but we done kicked it, we done talked, we this and that, I'm into it. We have sex, I'm in trouble. Now she can play. Okay, because now I'm all into
she
her now.
got you.
She got me. You know, because I'm spending so much time with her, man, to the point where I'm with it. But if I'm only talking to you,
But you think that like if you're intimate with somebody 2 times out of the month who you don't talk to, have no kind of connection with, you don't think it's possible that they can still be connected to you in their mind?
okay, so I ain't
In their
talking about
experience?
them. I was talking about me.
But see,
Oh,
women,
now for them, I can't speak for them. I can't speak, but I just know for how I am.
women and men are
Okay.
different. Women are receivers, men are not. Women get emotionally attached, and men don't, in a sense of if it's just having sex. So the things that we feel and receive emotionally, they don't receive the same thing. So that's why women get attached and I'm so this and that. Men don't do that. We are receivers. So I think women have to be aware of who they have sex with. And
Well,
just because you're dating, you don't need to have sex during dating, ladies. You don't have to do that. Women think that I'm gonna just say this, I'm gonna let it go, but women think that their value and their worth is based on their body. And that goes because you don't know yourself.
This sounds like another episode of Breaking Barriers with Bria.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just saying, tune in for that episode, okay? Because there will be one, I'm sure. Okay, so moving forward, let's say that, so we have one person that said that they're not really open. 2 people say that maybe they're not sure, they can't really pinpoint it. If you decided to explore, ethical non-monogamy or non-monogamy, would you want to know everything or would you want to be in the dark? Meaning the person that you're dating. And if the other person identifies as poly.
So, with come on, tune in. No, go ahead, tune in. So with a poly, there are no secrets. If there's secrets, it's not a true poly relationship. So with the poly, everybody is on one accord, spiritually, mentally, and physically. There's no secrets outside of the relationship.
Supposed to be.
Well, the real poly. I don't know what this 2020. Supposed to be, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The question was, would I be okay with that? I'm sorry,
Would
I
you
missed the
want to
question.
be in the dark or would you
No.
want to know everything?
I don't believe in being in the dark about anything. Like,
Poly or not.
if they're right, because honestly, being in the dark is not good. But I will say this: when people say they really want the truth, a lot of people don't, and they cannot handle the truth.
Oh, it's definitely on here being philosophical for me.
Yeah.
So when people are like, just be honest with me, they can't handle it. They want you to nurture their feelings and they don't want the understanding. They just want, or the facts. They just want to kind of, just tell me what I want to hear. And so I think most people will say yes, But I think the question is, you have to ask yourself, are you really open to understanding the truth of your partner? And be open and accepting to what they tell you in return.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether if you like it or not. You might have to go and sulk for 2 weeks because of what they told you, but they were honest.
They were honest with you.
We're not arguing, we're not fussing and fighting, but that's the open dialogue.
Eric?
So,
Make sure I have the definition. Poly is when you're
Relationship.
in a relationship.
It's
and
intimate relationship.
to be
Seeking, yeah.
Intimate relationships.
Multiple. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say no on the answer that she gave. I don't want to know the truth.
You don't
you
want
see
to know.
the difference though?
It just because it's gonna make me judge you. Even though I know that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
It'll kind of make me judge you, and I kind of agree to it. Just you had a good time. Cool. That's
Okay. So, married person.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on open marriage?
Again, it's a no. Not my marriage. But I mean, I think that if it works for you, like, you know how black people say, if you like it, I love you.
And they really don't. Right?
Yeah, like, no, I really mean that. Like, if you like it and that works for you, like, who am I to sit here and judge what works for your marriage? I think it doesn't work for mine, again, because of the commitment we made. But I do believe that, like I said, because I've been loved properly and correctly, we decided we wanted to have a conversation.
Yeah.
We wanted to open something up or whatever, poly, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's between me and my partner. So I don't think it's something that needs to be shared, talked about outside of me and you. And again, our spiritual like guidance.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it's not your business what we do.
Not your
I think
business.
it's so many people worried about what's happening inside people's bedrooms. And if you're not trying to get inside of their bedroom, then you need to be worried about yourself. But that's just me.
Mic drop.
And cleave
Drops.
to your wife, not the people on the outside. Because the thing is, not to disrespect anybody's marriage, but it's between you and the person. I think, like she said, people go on the outside asking for advice and what would you do and how would you do
very
it.
true. I've seen a lot of that.
And if
on
we don't
social
know how to
media.
connect on a like verbal level,
Instead of
let's learn-
talking to
let's learn how to.
We're wildly honest in our relationship. And so
Yeah.
we've had some very hard conversations, but I never had that in other relationships. I wanted to, or maybe they wanted to. And so again, it's how you end up in situationships. You're not ready for that. You can't understand it. But I feel like I've been loved properly. One of the reasons is because I've been wildly honest for me, but also like that person has too. So like it hurts sometimes, but I'm okay with it because like I signed up for it, you know? So
And you're growing and evolving.
yeah,
Through
I
it
am.
all.
So I think it makes a difference, but
And be okay with wanting help. Because you may hit that 5 mark, that
Oh,
5
yeah.
year or 6 or 7 or whatever. And like, you know what? We don't really know what we're doing. Or we do.
Or we've hit a plateau.
plateau
or we might
and
need-
be okay with inviting.
Let's ask
well,
some more questions.
let's figure this out together.
oh yeah, team go to your
Therapist?
Like,
Yes.
we've been
Team
together 5
therapy,
years, you've only been married
girl.
one. Oh,
Woo.
go to therapy.
At least y'all both agree on that.
Yeah.
Because
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Great, wonderful.
you.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so our last topic, we're just going to talk about some differences between generations really quickly.
oh,
Oh, nice.
no, no.
Nice. Yeah.
Differences between generations, you know. Some people are not a part of the 90s crew. No, I'm just
This
kidding.
is interesting.
You know,
I'm just kidding. We got 80s and 90s in here,
80s,
right?
baby,
Yeah,
over
80s and
here.
90s. 80s
Y'all
and 90s.
90s?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Whoop-a-doo-whoop.
wee.
But
Y'all
yeah,
fresh. They
oh,
fresh.
yeah.
Fresh meat.
Sweet 90s.
Fresh meat.
I feel like I'm still in the cut.
First of all, I mean, you got people out here that's Gen Z, all right? So we're not
Fresh
going to talk about
meat.
that, okay? All right? At least we're 80s and 90s. We're not the 2000s.
Yeah, that's different.
But even then, hell, maybe next time we need to have somebody that's Gen Z here.
Right.
What
Because
y'all
they
think?
can teach us
Leave a
something.
comment. Send me a message. Okay, so with, knowing that dating has changed over the last 30 years, do you think it's easier or harder to meet people nowadays? Because we just talked about online dating, right? You talked about picking someone up and taking them out and getting them flowers and spraying the teddy bear with your cologne,
Oh yeah, it's hard to.
It's harder nowadays.
It's hard. Like
How?
it's hard to make friends
But it's ironic because we're have
so
these
social.
New platforms
because
that,
we don't know how to talk to each other. And the people, even if you grew up in a different time, oh, you love Facebook, you love Instagram, so you still are like desensitizing yourself from constant like interaction with people, and then COVID.
Right.
Like, let's not get started. Like, we all changed for COVID.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely harder.
That's
Eric?
For my current situation now, I would say it's harder.
Okay.
I have to say it's harder. I'm not really into the technology and the dating things like that. I get on it, but I prefer to kind of meet, in person rather than that. But I think for me right now, where I'm at in my life, is a little harder because you're afraid to kind of step out there and really date somebody, because it's like, I don't want to take a loss. I just been through some things. It's like, look, we gonna do this or not? Let's be real. And then that on the sexual level, like, we're gonna be real, we're gonna take it, let's do it. And like you said, hard conversation.
Yeah.
My last marriage, I just experienced hard conversation, didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And I can admit that. Didn't know how to handle them. But now it's like, okay, I get it. Those are necessary
Yeah, for sure.
in relationships. So
Yeah.
I'd say
it's-
it's a little harder.
Speaking of, right, because y'all, speaking about communication and everything, and meeting people, y'all come from the same generation. I'm curious to know, like, how did your parents meet?
good.
I have no idea.
You don't know how your parents met?
No idea. I just know I'm here.
Okay.
You're wildly
I mean, this
honest, and I love
is
every bit of
pre
it.
online dating. This
So
is pre eHarmony Match, Facebook, Black Planet. This is pre all of that. So, how did your parents meet? How did your parents meet, Chaz?
I think they met at a club or something, or like out hanging out. I'm from a small town. My dad was like the new guy in town. So, and my mom was like the life of the party.
It was just,
I get it honest. So yeah, I think that like they just met out somewhere. Like
I love
really.
that. Okay, Steph.
They met through a friend.
Met through a friend.
So yeah, my mom's best friend introduced my mom to my dad, and they were two completely different people, but they met from a friend of a friend.
Okay.
Basically, so there was no online anything, and yeah, none of that.
Okay. I think, like, I guess with my next question, the ways or the avenues like that you can meet people now essentially haven't changed a whole bunch, but like they've added more ways, more venues, right? More avenues.
sure.
But it's harder to meet people.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, would you trust a person more, right, if you met them at a club versus if you met them on an online dating app? If
I
you met
met my wife
them,
online, so I can't.
can you talk about that, please?
Yeah, I mean, I met her on Tinder.
You
so,
met your wife on Tinder.
Yeah, like we literally was swiping. and
That is
swipe right on each
beautiful.
other. So
Yay, let's give it up for that.
I mean, I feel like it works for me, but I don't know. I feel like, you know how they say like you kiss a lot of frogs,
Yeah.
you get your prince type of
Yeah.
thing or princess.
That's beautiful.
So like I feel like for me, I definitely had some frogs, toads,
Yeah.
snakes in the grass, all of the things. Like
Yeah.
I definitely had some trash people I met
Right.
online. And I always tell people actually with so like what is it, social or online dating? I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, I think of it as social dating because it's on apps. But I feel like I tell people if you're in honestly heterosexual relationships, I can see why you would be more scared
Yes.
to meet somebody out. But I did the same things. I went to a public place. We were around a lot of people. I told somebody where I was going. I shared my location. So I think that's the thing that people do now.
Yeah.
So it's not as scary, but definitely with heterosexual relationships, women meeting a man out, I can understand why it's scary. I wasn't as scared to meet my wife, and also she was
Right.
short. Like I was like,
Come on, right. Get over
here.
here.
And then in real life,
Come
like
here,
she could have got her feet. She could have got me. You know?
Right.
No, but seriously, my experience was good because we weren't trying to date.
Right.
Like so you talking about what dating really is, the like vetting process.
Yeah.
We was just playing around
Yeah.
and we just happened to like each other, and like it was finally somebody that we see eye to eye. We can keep talking, but the truth is, I was not calling her. I was not talking. Once we exchanged numbers, I was like, okay. And she would call me, and she always says the way that like our situation was because she would call me. She liked it because the girl she was dating, I guess prior, was always like getting on her nerves.
Right.
And so the fact that she had to get in contact with me and like reach out to me,
Yeah.
it was a different feel. And she was like, the fact that I was doing that and I was as busy as I was, like I really liked you. So we just
That's cool.
it was a meant to be type of thing, but it can be hard, like too. So I understand it, and then you don't know what to say to people.
Yeah.
Because even you can see all this stuff about them.
But like she said, when you're not looking, it shows up.
Yeah.
You find it when you're not looking because you're your authentic self.
Yeah.
You're not trying.
I was not pressed.
Yeah. See.
Even though you read everything on the dating, you read it and you was like, okay.
Yeah. For real. I just like literally when you're on a profile, you just like, oh, you cute.
Swipe.
You cute. You know? So it's so you're not really cute.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not really reading the profile. But if somebody is like really attracted to you, you start reading everything about them. Oh, you go to church? You got a dog? You got divorced? I don't know. You got kids? Ooh. Like, you know, like you really start reading stuff. So
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
So for Eric and Steph, for your most recent relationship, I'm just curious, how did you meet? Your most recent one, as we wrap things up.
Look, he took a deep breath again. No.
You want me to go?
Go ahead.
Well, I guess the last relationship, of course, would be my marriage. I met her. She was my neighbor right across the hall. And
What?
yeah.
love this.
I didn't think that she would have been interested. She went out of town one day. She gave me her number. She had on a dress that kind of, it got
Sundry
me.
season.
Oh, yeah. Sent a text and said, looking real good in the dress this morning. You know, enjoy your day.
What happened to the teddy bear?
We
And
ain't
the
what?
cologne,
It wasn't a date yet.
So you could have gave her a teddy bear and sprayed the scent.
Right.
Date.
No, I'm saying we even went out. There's a date. We're going on a date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She
so
ain't
I
get no
was
teddy
just-
bear. It ain't no date. She ain't get no teddy bear.
No, we ain't went on a date yet. I'm shooting my shot.
He just looking at
Okay.
her.
But I didn't think that she was going to respond, and she responded, and I didn't have a follow-up any answer to anything that she wanted to ask me. But that's how I met her, though. We kind of kicked it from there, and it kind of went off from there. So, but the teddy bear and the rose did come later on.
Oh, okay. I want to say teddy bear had to come in
it came
somewhere.
It had to come.
All right, Steph.
I met him at a program. So I was paying off my tickets and driving because years ago, I had driving tickets.
Okay, so what you're saying is you get road rage.
Yeah, I had.
Okay, that's all right.
I did.
Me too.
And I
That's
tried
right.
to flee the state. It's a whole situation.
Okay, that's all right. Road rages unite.
I mean, you got stories, bro.
It's layers to this. But
Answer the question.
I was really not looking for nobody. I was really there to pay off my tickets and to go through the program and to really like learn job readiness and learning how to like do the interview and all that processing and stuff like that. And so when he met me, I looked at him and I was like, this is a joke because I'm not dating anybody. I'm focused on my stuff. But the problem or what happened, I kept running into him. We have a trolley in San Diego. And when I was on a trolley, I would see him. So I'm like, are you stalking me? Something's not right.
Yeah.
But we kept showing up at certain places. And it was, I even turned my location off because I thought he was following me at one point. And I'm like, something is weird. And so I went to the middle of nowhere and I was with a friend of mine and he showed up. And
Absolutely not.
It was not like, but it wasn't planned because he was with his friend. And mind you, I was dating somebody at the time.
Okay.
So this wasn't like, okay, we're meeting up. We're seeing each other. We're into each other because I was dating somebody at the time. And so we didn't, long story short, we didn't expect it. We just kept running into each other no matter where we went. It was just, we're running into each other.
So then one day y'all just had a conversation?
eventually we were like, you know what? I'm gonna explain something to him because he was a listener. And so I was talking to him and I was like, I really like how he listens and he reciprocates, right? The conversation. And we became friends, not sexual, not nothing else. We just became friends. And that led up to, I really like him physically. Like, I like him. He listens, he's patient, he feeds me.
Situationship.
No, it's the vetting process because you don't know the person right away.
This is true. Because you thought he was stalking you.
Right, but the first 4 months, I'm not ready to marry you, baby. I am here getting to know you.
Very true.
And I'm trying to figure out if I even like you.
Very true. Absolutely.
Right? So I like him, and I was like, he's okay. And he's patient. So that's what got us together. And I said, you know what? We're officially dating. And so that's how that started.
Okay. Okay, great. So trolley, scene, and threw scene across the hall. And threw your shot.
Yeah.
And then Tinder. I love it. I love it. Match to Mrs. Yay! Love it. Also, you can follow Chaz's journey as well as her partner on Instagram at Matched to Mrs. Can you spell it? Should I spell it?
Match to Mrs. That is MATCHED, the number 2 MRS. That is on Instagram and our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, y'all, that's all I got for y'all today. And thank you so much for being a part of episode 2. Dating, relationships, marriage, all of it during our love month, of February.
Yes, Valentine's.
I greatly appreciate y'all being here and sharing your own experiences. And I'm telling you right now that, there's somebody out there that you helped and you don't even know, okay? And they might holler at you. So we're gonna make sure we attach your ads and your handles here so that people can, follow you on social media and follow your story.
I'm trying to follow y'all.
And I'm Stephanie V_365. I'm not ready. I don't have all the stuff up, but I'm getting ready.
All righty. Period. We're getting ready. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Breaking Barriers with Bria for episode 2. There's way more to come from this. So make sure that you follow on all platforms, and we'll be back for the next episode. Oh, and remember, real baddies break barriers. Thank you so much for tuning in to Breaking Barriers with Bria. Remember to follow us on all platforms so that you can keep up with our content. And also remember, real baddies break barriers.